welcome back to Very Biased Opinions and our coverage of the League One season. We will be covering today Week 11 of the League One season. We haven't seen Week 10, so instantly a qualifier there that we don't know what we're talking about. I have no idea what's going on. If you'd like to just watch one game, please have a click below. We have timestamped and the chapters feature will show it to you. But all these games are gold, and we are going to do this in speed. So watch the whole video and enjoy. Ian, stay depressed. Ian's team is shit. Back in your corner. Very quickly, here are the results from Week 8, because that's the last week. Or Week 9. Week 9. I smashed Ian 7-6, a demolishing... Oh, it was awful. Look at these scores. Look at this. I got a Bristol Rovers versus Hull City thing correct. But what won it for me, the thing that won it for me, was my backing of my Milton Keynes Dons, my favorite club on earth, the club that made me who I am, and I backed them to win, and they did. Ian, how's it feel?
We have to do this.
No, so let's move on from there. Please have a click below if you're in the UK. We are an Amazon affiliate. We have free links to Audible, and there's a 3-month Amazon Music trial for you for free, so have a click on that. Also, Grandstand Betters, our wonderful tipster website are below. Please have a like, have a click, have a subscribe, look at all their social media channels. They give out tons of things for free. Just give them some support and win yourself some free money. In the meantime, Ian, it's time to finally talk about football. I hear it's important, but before I do that, I am going to remind everybody that in the top corner, we have lots of notes and things and videos that'll come out, and you should click on all of them. I had a spiel prepared, but I just blanked. So, without further ado, gilding the lily or looking at that sad, sad face anymore. Blackpool versus Wigan Athletic.
Well, Thomas, I know a thing or two about losers, and that's exactly what we have here. A couple of losing franchises, if you like. Both sides in search of a win. Both sides coming off a loss in the last round of midweek games. You know I'm a sucker for Blackpool, though. You know I'm a sucker for a stick of rock by the seaside. Blackpool to win. 2-1.
This has 0-0 draw written all over it. That's my entire commentary.
Charlton Athletic versus Fleetwood Town.
The last match we saw with Charlton Athletic, and for some reason, the way you said that, I really just wanted to repeat it again. The last result we saw with Charlton Athletic was a 2-0 win over Oxford. We'll get into it more, but you've always, we do try to give a little bit of praise to winners, even when we think that the home team might have something to do with the loss anyway. So, well done to Charlton. It was a 2-0 win, which is pretty good. Ian, Fleetwood had a football match. How did they fare?
Well, I just quickly, Tom, I do think the home side did have something to do with the win for Charlton over Oxford because they were the home side. Yeah, you can see what I thought of that game by clicking on the card in the top corner in that one. But well done to Charlton. They're more clinical. If you could remind me, Thomas, how did Fleetwood?
I can actually remind you. So Fleetwood got a narrow victory over anti-football themselves, Shrewsbury Town. They were away from home. I think it's safe to say that Fleetwood Town are back. It is unfortunate because this week Fleetwood are playing Oxford, and Oxford have never beaten Fleetwood, so we can assume they've at least gotten a point from that. And I'm not going to let Ian talk about Fleetwood at all. I'm just going to really quickly say what I always say. No one likes Joey Barton and his band of reprobates. Ian, what's your score for Charlton Athletic versus Fleetwood?
Charlton win. I'm back in Charlton because Fleetwood are playing Oxford. And what is going to be left of Fleetwood? How is Joe Barton going to be able to pick his side up after Oxford are done with them? Charlton 2-0. I was going to say one thing quickly, Thomas. Charlton are like watertight at the back. I think that's like 4 wins in a row, but they barely conceded. I think that's 5 clean sheets in a row. Excellent stuff.
Ian, I'm just going to say that my soul has actually left my body, and I'm just a husk of a man. I'm a lump of clay because Fleetwood Town are going to win 2-1.
I don't believe that. Hull City versus your boys, Accrington Stanley.
Furious, I am angry. I cannot believe how the EFL have chosen to deal with this whole coronavirus situation. They are mollycoddling teams. They're letting teams like Swindon, Crewe, all these sides get away with not playing games. How Accrington Stanley haven't just been given 3 points and a 10-0 victory on aggregate is beyond me. They weren't able to play last week, and my boys are furious over it. It's going to take me a while to calm down. Remind me how Hull did.
Well, probably a lot of Hull fans have been reminded this week of what it was like. They were at Tier 2, and now they've moved into Tier 3. So, you know, life models football in that regard for Hull City. So they must be pretty pleased. I think that Hull are going to win because they've been in pretty good form this season. They got a nice win last time out, and on Tuesday night. And Hull will beat Aki, and Hull will win 2-0.
It's going to be a 1-1 draw. Hull will acquit themselves well. They will look like a good footballing side as they are in this league, but Accrington Stanley are the toast of the league, therefore a 1-1 draw.
Lincoln City versus once FA Cup winners, Portsmouth.
One day people are going to talk about Man United and they're going to go once Premier League winners. We're getting to that point really quickly.
They got to win it.
So Lincoln City won again. They remain top of the league. They beat Crewe 1-0. Crewe have proven themselves to be a handy little team, so 1-0 win is nothing to be scoffed at. But as Ian was saying beforehand, not on camera, this Lincoln side seem happy right now just to get a goal, sit back, and let the match kind of pass them by for the rest of it. That's not a bad sign. I'm not saying they've done anything wrong. It's just, it's probably the least exciting league leaders we've had in a while. Pompey, on the other hand, Ian, what is happening there?
Well, they've had a resurgence, Thomas. We were busy slagging them off and laughing, and they've gone those little sneaky sausages and won like 4 out of the last 5. Where does that come from? They're flying up the league, scoring tons of goals in the process, looking a lot like what they did at times last season. But obviously Lincoln are doing well themselves, so you expect this to be a good game, but a tight game. I actually think this will be a draw, though. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Lincoln City to win 2-1.
Bristol Rovers versus Peterborough United.
It's really unfortunate, but the Bristol Rovers car factory sputtered out of control again this week. They've had one of those games. They're beaten 3-1 by Hull. It really wasn't a fantastic performance. They just could not get into third gear. It was really unfortunate for them. Somebody really needs to have a look at those spark plugs and transmissions and things.
No!
I'm just gonna giggle for a while talking about Peterborough.
This reminds me of Rocky IV. It's like East versus West. It's 2 worlds colliding. I imagine that Darren Ferguson will have his boys training out in the snow, chopping wood, doing all that stuff, running up mountains, while as Bristol Rovers will be in the lab doing... Oh no, I can't go. I don't want to insinuate things like that.
They're in the factory. They're in the factory building cars. No wonder they're tired some weeks.
Right, this is detailed football analysis, but Peterborough are flying. They did draw to Burton Albion, so they'll be desperate to get back on the winning horse. It'll be Bristol Rovers 0, Peterborough United 3.
All I heard from you is they're going to be desperate to be on the winning horse.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with it.
Cool. All right.
That's the situation, isn't it?
Yes.
Get back on the horse.
Thank God we're not together because this would go for so long. I have Peterborough to win as well. I'll go 4-0. Wimbledon versus Doncaster Bells or Rovers.
He's changed it up. Tom, if I'm not mistaken, did AFC Wimbledon not get a nice 1-0 win, which gave me a futile correct score?
They did. They beat the Horrors from Blackpool 1.
Come on, you can't say that. You can't steal my lines. So, AFC Wimbledon, they carry on to, obviously 11th in the league. They keep picking up points. We keep going on about the fact we tipped them to go down, but they're definitely doing much better than a side in a relegation zone at the moment. And playing up against Doncaster, you never know what Doncaster are going to get. They might end up winning this 5-0. They might end up losing it 5-0. Unlikely.
What is this Doncaster side? I can't do it anymore.
I don't know. That's the thing. You look at them: loss, win, win, loss, loss. It's like it is just a basket case. Although I would fucking take that right now. Believe me.
And, it's not draws either. So it's 3 points or nothing for this Doncaster side. They don't play draws.
That is true. I was going to say a draw as well, but I'm not now.
I did
2-1.
I didn't get to see all the highlights, but it looks like quite a tight game Doncaster played. It was against Plymouth. I think it was against Plymouth. Yeah, it was against Plymouth.
You said you didn't watch hardly any of the highlights. I watched none of the highlights because I just literally wanted to just hide in a cave and forget about football. But League One doesn't let you forget because they decided to play every bloody 3 days.
Right, Doncaster's do a win, 2-1. You know, the worst part is that if Doncaster do a win, they probably won it this weekend. And when I'm saying this, they're actually due a loss. And now I've just shot myself in the foot. Anyway, moving on. Northampton Town versus, oh my god, I'm so excited, MK Dons.
Well, you're so excited, you better talk about them then. You better talk about Northampton or MK Dons?
Probably both, if we're being honest. I do seem to back both of them all the time. But Milton Keynes Dons finally won a football match. Finally, having 900% possession in a football match played out well. They ended up beating Wigan 2-0. It was probably, when we look at it, because they had, again, 66% possession, the side with the ball won a game, which makes perfect sense, and it's nice for it to finally make sense, because I can't do another week for trying to explain how a side that has a ball...
I'm really glad they won, because I couldn't stand another week of you saying, they dominated the game!
Well, they did dominate the game. They won it. They had 12 shots. They were much better than this Wigan side. We said Wigan would be bad, and they are. Northampton Town, on the other hand, Ian, they played another game of football they lost really badly to Portsmouth, but there is no shame in that. We know I keep saying how much I think Northampton are a hard side to break down, but they are dangerously close to being with Oxford in the relegation zone now. Silent dig it, Ian. Ian, what are your thoughts on this game?
2 games in hand.
Great. So you'd be...
2 losses in hand.
I was to say that Golden should be even worse.
There we go. I took the words out of your mouth. Yeah, Northampton, they do need a win, though. I mean, they are looking like a good side. They're doing well, but it's only 1 win out of the last 5 games. Yeah. This is one they will be looking at to win, but I don't think they will. I'm going to back MK Dons too. And it just comes down, as much as much of their possession stats is just the centre-backs passing the ball to each other. I do think that they'll win this game. I think they'll win 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, we did spend literally the better part of a decade talking about how great Barcelona was because Piqué and Puyol just literally played with the ball.
Yeah, somehow I don't think we'll be spending a decade talking about MK Dons.
I don't know why not. They're in the Premier League in 3 years. They've won the Champions League in 5, and they're in the European Super League in 7. It's easy. It's done. It's sorted.
Imagine all the Wimbledon fans would have to go back and support them again.
It'd be tough times. It'd be really tough times.
Crewe Alexandra versus Gillingham.
I know nothing about how these two sides played this week, Ian, except that both of them lost 1-0 because I can read a sheet of paper. Is there anything else I need to know outside of one of them is struggling more than the other one?
Well, I can't read a sheet of paper unless it's got braille on it, and I know that Gillingham are struggling a lot, and they are a very organised side, but that's 4 defeats. Could be a 5th defeat in a row at the weekend. And Crewe are very much a mixed bag. They are on win, draw, win, loss, loss, draw, win, draw. They are like a Morse code. So Crewe to win. Oh, no. Tough one. Draw.
I'm going for a draw.
Draw. 1-1.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm also going for 1-1. Actually, you know what, Ian? I don't want to have any of the same scores as you. 0-0.
I'm going to do a prediction for the next one. I think this will be the shortest entry. Go for it, Tom.
NC Football Shrewsbury Town versus Mediocrity Incarnate. Burton Albion, 0-0 draw.
Well, that was quick. I'm going to do a little bit more. Well, Burton Albion did get a good 2-2 draw against Peterborough. You've got to give them credit. That isn't a mediocre result. And it was Kane! Again, Kane Hemmings with the goals. So, well done to Burton. Get another point on the board. You are going to have the same score as me, 0-0.
Plymouth Argyle, Green Army versus, Swindon Town.
Well, let's see if Swindon can actually play a game, shall we, Thomas? Let's see if they can turn up to a football match and play and not weasel and scheme their way out of it.
You are the most magnanimous football fan I've ever met. But the worse Oxford are doing, the more biting you're getting on these sorts of things. I love it.
Let's see how they'll bend the rule books to their wishes and the FA just let them do it. It's appalling. Plymouth too good at home for this Swindon side. I don't want to hear anything about how good Swindon were last season. This is this season. Plymouth too good for them. Plymouth 2-0 winners.
I actually just really like the Green Army, so I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory. Sunderland versus Ipswich Town.
Thomas, I know you've been wanting to say this, and I'll just give you a little dull feed into it. Have Sunderland imploded?
Oh, God! The world is ending! Up north, everything has gone wrong. Coronavirus, people are dying in hospitals. The elderly can't survive. Young people are going out with reckless abandon, and now they're fantastic club Sunderland, who were finally doing things right, fall apart. They pick up 1 point out of the last 6 available. All hell will break loose. This club is definitely going to get relegated this season. Their fan base is distraught. Ian, how has this managed to happen?
I don't know how it's managed to happen, Tom, but it's one of those little League One blips, I'm going to say. They've just done. Bad result against Pompey and annoying result, I would say, in the last one out. Should have. It's definitely a game they should have won. Ipswich got back on winning ways, though. After 2 defeats, they got a win, and we'll see how they got on at the weekend. But this is a massive game. But I think Sunderland are going to win it. I think it will be tight. I think Sunderland will win 1-0.
I think Sunderland will win 2-1. Yeah, it's good to see Ipswich actually pull out a win, though, because if they'd had a third loss, I feel like last season would have just ended up repeating on itself. It's good that they're keeping pace with the leaders again. They're only 3 points off the top.
Well, let me just say this. If we can't win this one, then hopefully we'll win the next one. Because it's time for the main event.
OUFC versus Rochdale.
Well, very conflicted in this one, Tom. You know this is 2 of the greatest loves of my life. Oxford United and Rochdale United. But Oxford need this. They need to win this game. When they've played the 2 sides they've played this season that you'd expected to beat, Accrington and MK Dons, we have beat them. We need to carry that on because we don't look like beating any of the top sides at the moment.
Accrington and MK Dons. Ian, do you know football at all?
Oh, come, Thomas. And it's a weird one. And it's Oxford. We're coming off the back of seeing them lose 2-0 to Charlton, and Rochdale actually look like they've hit a bit of form as well now, so it's not going to be an easy game. And the biggest thing is everyone's slagging off Oxford's defence. Everyone's saying, oh my God, the defence is so bad, they can't defend, it's horrible. Giving Eastwood loads of shit, probably deserved because it was a bad mistake. But we're not scoring, and we can't score, and we're putting that defence under a lot of pressure in every single game because we can't stick the ball in the back of the net when we're dominating games. Like that first half an hour against Charlton, we were well on top of them and couldn't score. And the first time they get in behind, we're 1-0 down, everyone's heads down, confidence goes down, we're chasing the game again.
Yeah, no, it's awful. I mean, we've talked about this before, but all you need is that goal to go in, right? Like, all you need is a lead, and all of a sudden defending the game becomes a lot easier. And it's Oxford right now, this is that classic story of when you're on the bottom of the table, just nothing is going your way. And right now they're dominating games and they're not scoring the goals. And then it's insane as well. And really quickly, just in Eastwood's defense, right? And there's no defense for the mistake he makes, but the dude has been such a good goalkeeper for Oxford United. And some of the responses to him conceding that goal, like the guy is like literally basically under attack all the time. Just let it go.
Well, I actually do think he has been a little bit more shaky than usual, and that goes back even from the play. He doesn't look assured of himself, I would say, as a goal, like as much as he used to. When he looks edgy all the time, I would say.
He does look edgy.
And a lot of that comes from a defence that's been chopping and changing every week through injury. And obviously, we talk about like Rob Dickey and Goran being out, which hasn't helped. But really, is Robinson really going to put Jack Stevens, a young, untried and untested, although very talented goalkeeper in, and he could end up messing up both goalkeepers by doing that? You put Jack Stevens in, you've got to put him in for like 5 or 6 games. Yeah. What if he plays shit? That rests his confidence. Eastwood might mess his confidence.
Have you thought of signing Kepa on loan?
Yeah, no. No, surprisingly. But a lot of it has to be just the fact that we haven't had, obviously we're not scoring, we haven't had a settled defence either. And I don't think Oxford defended that badly against Charlton. It just literally was a couple of moments where they switched off. But they look like they are getting a bit better and a bit more understanding between them. It's just everything seems like hard work at the moment. And football isn't seeming that fun to watch for me at the moment, I must admit. Sorry, Rochdale fans, we're not going to talk about you very much in this, as you might have expected.
So Oxford had 12 shots. They only managed to get 3 of them on target. Charlton only got 5 shots off in the entire match. Only 2 of them are on target. Both of them are goals. Oxford fans, you need to realize that when you're losing games like this, it is genuinely a lot of bad luck going against you. Like, when a team, it feels like every week, teams get 2 or 3 shots on target and 2 or 3 balls go in the back of the net. That's 2 or 3 kicks in the entire game. That's it. That's all you're giving up. Like, I know I'm just looking at this, but like, Oxford 6% possession, 12 shots. It's the fact that they're not getting their shots on target when they are taking them that's really bad right now.
And
they're not finishing
the game as well, which is just so important. So important. And it's just like the two games that we actually have taken the lead in, we've gone on to win.
Yeah. And you really want to beat a team that's only got 10 men on the pitch for 30 minutes as well.
Oxford have to play Dan Adjie. He's the one player that we have that looks like something's going to happen when he's on the pitch. We've won both games when he's played, and always something. He creates something. He makes something happen. When he came on, the only chance we had when he went down to 10 men was because Adjie got into space, he chested the ball down, and James Henry blazed a shot he should have scored over the bar. But it came from him, and I just hope that I'd like to see Robinson just go like next 10 games, Adjie, you're starting every game.
Just see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly, because he at least looks like the one bright spark.
All right, that's it. The Oxford United show's over, Ian. What is your prediction?
Yeah, okay. Well, Rochdale have taken 7 points out of the last 3 games, so that's well done for them. Have to back Oxford. Oxford to win. 3-1.
I unfortunately am stuck now in a gambler's fallacy or whatever it's called, where I just have to keep backing this because eventually it'll come true, like when you keep betting black. So I'm going to continue to bet yellow, and I'm going to go with a 2-1 Oxford win. I'm ending this. I'm taking us out. Thank you to all of you who've liked, subscribed, commented. Thank you so much for the amount of support that we receive on Ian Allen's Oxford United videos. It really does mean the world to have all of you guys commenting and chatting about it. And it's really nice on there because, like, for me, I tend to see a lot of really negative Oxford fans that get really angry about results. And a lot of you seem quite well-tempered. And it's good to read your feedback. Please have a look below, obviously, at our links. Have a look at the end. The end screen has our season predictions and stuff. Tell us why we were wrong. We did have Oxford United in second, and I was arguing that they should end in first. Clearly never going to happen. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Tom, there's no League One next week.